All right, end of the year Bucs video. Great job by the Bucs this year. Todd Bowles, Dave Canales, the offensive coordinator, I thought did an excellent job of putting them in positions to win. Baker, I thought, played really, really well. A really good season based on the expectations and the fact that I don't know if they were a great team overall, but they achieved some big things, winning a playoff game. And then I just don't think they were the better team in this game against Detroit, although there's a lot of good things to pull from this to build off of and really to talk about Baker, okay? Now, one of the themes that I tweeted earlier in the week that really, to me, really hurt them was handling blitzes and their protections. And so right here, we've got a situation where we're actually releasing everybody. So it's what I call a 5-out situation. So 5-out situation, you got to decide how you're going to block this. And it looks as if the Bucs decided that they were going to go kind of a big on big right here, 5-on-5, which means that everybody else in the mix becomes the hot guy, okay? So in this particular case, they come off the backside slot, okay? They come off the backside slot, so you've got to be ready to get the ball out of your hands, whatever that means, okay? But you got to recognize it. So that's the biggest thing, is recognize that this guy's coming and this guy's free, and you basically have 3 options. It's not easy, because normally when you're throwing a hot, you really want to go to one of the guys out the front side, the flat, or this little post route here, but it really, I think, becomes this shallow route there. But Baker's got to be just giving ground. You got to give ground. You got to know you're hot. You got to be aware of it. And what happens here is you don't have the flat, and you got to find your shallow coming back here, fade away from it, whatever you got to do, but just wasn't aware of it right here. And these are the kind of things that hurt them numerous times, leads to a big-time sack there. You'll see it again here from the end zone copy. So they're going to go big on big, what we call big on big. So big, 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 big. So now anybody else here, guy that comes off the slot over here, anybody else that comes, we've got to be hot here and we've got to be ready to deal it. And again, Baker never sees the guy coming, and that's the biggest thing, is just aware of it. And then worst case scenario, you don't have anything, just throw it away. Just throw it away at this point and avoid the sack. All right? So here we come. Come back with the interception, okay? So I keep talking about this. A lot of teams will run this, what I call the wrap combination, and a hook underneath it, okay? The first thing that I always want, and we actually get this guy to move with width, even though we don't widen our hook here, right? So he doesn't widen. I'd like to see this hook widen a little bit more, almost to the inside edge of the numbers, to try to pull this guy and to make sure we're getting these two guys in different positions on the field. We don't want them stacked on top of each other. We want them offset, so this linebacker here can only cover one of the two. He can either move with width or he can move with depth, but he can't cover both of them. So you see right here as we run it, see how those guys are more stacked right here? See how the two receivers are stacked right here? Now, we have it anyways because this linebacker comes buzzing out here. But if this linebacker was inside to cover the hook, he's also covering the wrap. He's covering both of them. So you want that guy to have a little bit more width so they can uncover each other. And it could have easily taken the hook underneath it. But I see, you got, and you feel that you've got the safety with enough depth here that you can hit this wrap underneath it. Now, the biggest thing is do you have to rip the ball to get the wrap in there? Because that's, to me, and we can say all we want about Mike Evans having to catch this, and I get it, it hits his hands. But Baker put some heat on this sucker. Boom, throwing it hard. It's one of the things that you never want to have to throw it hard. If you feel like you've got to throw it hard and you're on time to make a throw, you're probably throwing it too hard. And you should probably check it down if that's the case. So this one's coming hot and hard. Boom, hits his hands. You'd love to see him be able to come down with it, but that's a tough play across the board. And then it gets tipped and an interception and just a bad break. But so much of that is just about timing, spacing, and then Baker being able to realize Do I have something or don't I have it? And again, what I mean by that is if I've got to rip something into a window because it's so tight, I should probably go somewhere else. If I got to beat a guy with a throw, and again, sometimes that happens and you have to do that, or you're trying to push the envelope a little bit, but when you have to drive it, it just kind of lets you know that, hey, you're driving it for a reason, and that's because you're not fully comfortable with the look that you have. Okay, I love this right here. Okay, we're going to have an over and a shallow. It's a concept that I call shove, shallow, over. But what I love here with Baker is you always want to read this backside first. You want to see if there's anybody on the backside that can take that over away. So we see it from the get-go. We've got a one high safety. Backside deep player is down. So on the snap, I want to peek that guy. I want to make sure he doesn't come flying back here to the deep part. If he doesn't, and he stays down or he's playing man, first thing I want to look for is this over route right here because it's the easiest throw and a chance for a big play because there's nobody out in front of it. Great job by Baker recognizing that. Boom, putting the ball out, okay? And so here's another one that Baker, one of his tendencies, he's got a big arm, is to drive the ball instead of lay the ball. I'd love to see him lay this ball right here. Okay, lay it up and over and allow Mike Evans to adjust to where the ball is and go get it. When you drive the ball, you throw it hard, at a spot and you miss by a little bit, then you're usually missing or the defenders get involved. So he throws this one and he drives it, and by driving it, it's on the back hip of Mike Evans. Hard to see on a small copy like this, but the defender actually was able to get his hands in there on this, but Mike Evans was able to steal it away. Now, if you come back and just lay it out by the numbers, now Mike can adjust to it. He can hold the defender off, and the margin for error goes up. Yet, love the read. Love what he was doing right there. Love what he was seeing right there. And Dave Canales, I mentioned him. He did some really nice things here with this offense. So this, to me, I don't know if it's a play action or some kind of RPO, but they ended up bringing the pressure here, and they run almost like a bubble screen. So with the bubble screen, it's going to want to bring people down to attack the bubble screen. And what they do off of it is instead of blocking, they bring Trey Palmer up here on a skinny post. So I'm not sure exactly who Baker is reading or if he's reading anybody here, but I love it. I love it. He comes off, he got middle closed, boom, right there. Sees that middle safety right here. He's coming off, probably reading and seeing if this defender carries. If he carries, I'll kick it down underneath. But if not, I'm going to hit that skinny post and beat the safety. Beautiful job right there. And then if they've got a middle open or if the safety shaded over here, it looks like they're probably going to try to get the pull of the linebackers and hit this guy right over the middle. So great recognition by Baker. Great little design here. You see everybody screaming up for the screen, and boom, right behind it. Great timing on the move. Great throw. Great play right there. I love the play design. I love the throw. I love play fake and getting it out on time, something that Baker does really, really well. All right, so this is a play. A lot of teams are running it called pop-in. Okay, so it's an in, it's a pop, and it's a flat over to this side. So I like this combination when we get the corner off. Corner is soft, meaning we've got two defenders underneath to that side, and you notice we've got 1, 2, 3 receivers. So they can't take it away if they've got two defenders and we've got 3 there. They're not going to take it away. And there's a couple different ways that you can read this, right? If you feel the outside backer tucked inside, you can read that first and go flat to pop, okay? Or you can read it inside out. You can read the Mike linebacker first. So if the Mike linebacker stays inside, then you get right to this guy and you've got your 2-on-1. And if the Mike linebacker moves right now to this 3-by-1, that's when you get the in up over the top. So different ways to read it. Here, Baker reads it outside in. Nice job. Inside, outside backer stays tucked inside. Boom, get it out there to the outside guy. Other thing I would love to see here is I'd love to see this guy seam inside. Seam inside, then push up, and then run this. Why seam inside? Seam inside really to affect this guy. I want to seam inside and try to hold that backer inside so I do get the 2-on-1 inside, but I seam inside. If that Mike linebacker moves at all, gives me better leverage to the inside there. So I'm trying to accomplish a couple different things. Hey, then if we have man and I'm seaming inside, now I get a chance to create a natural rub for the guy covering my flat out there. So a lot of different benefits from seaming inside on this particular play. On the backside, they run an under. So it's an in and an under over here. So he could have read that side as well. You get the mic to turn this direction, and now we could get a 2-on-1 off of this linebacker on the backside. So options. You know, if they definitely roll down here, then I'm going to work back here to the underside. With the corner off, now you have options either way. And you see on the backside, right? Here's where the throw is probably going to go on the under if you take it, reading this backer who stays tucked inside. So good combination on both sides depending on what you get from the defense. Nice quick read by Baker getting the ball out of his hands. Okay, wanted to put this on here. This is just the mesh concept, okay? So everybody kind of working here. We're trying to set this up and bring the shallow here and get a mesh, trying to create a bubble for our shallow route coming in hopes that we can break him free in man-to-man. So we got man-to-man, and we kind of get everything we want. Here's the tough thing here is that they're playing one cop. Cop is with a linebacker, robber is with the safety. So they're playing one cop here. So everybody's in man-to-man. There's a free linebacker here reading the quarterback, and his job is to kind of jump and work what's going on. So what happens here is, see, this guy is the guy covering the back man-to-man. So that's the guy we really want to rub. But both of these guys go shallow. Watch Chris Godwin here as I play this. He goes to try to pick the cop guy, allowing the man-to-man guy to go over the top. And I understand why, because that guy steps up. You may think that he's going to grab the shallow there, which it looks like. And I think this was offensive pass interference, which I believe is garbage. Guy's just running his route, and the backer steps up and runs into him. I don't know. This offensive pass interference stuff kind of drives me crazy because we should have the right to run our route too, and he doesn't go out of his way. But I think they call this. But regardless, as we see this, what I want to show is that, so they both kind of go and pick right there. They go to pick Anzalone, and this guy does a great job of getting through the mix without getting bumped. But I showed this, again, forget the offensive pass interference. Let's say they don't call that. Look how close this is to being out the gate. We complete it. Boom. If he breaks that tackle right there, look at this. There is nobody on this side of the ball. This is a huge play. These are the difference-making plays in games. Difference-making tackle right there versus him breaking that tackle, and who knows, maybe going to the house, maybe making a difference. And these are kind of the hidden plays within a game that one tackle right there, that trip up right there, not only stops them from getting a first down, but stops them from maybe getting a touchdown or a huge play to the other end. Those are plays that change games and change playoff games. Okay, so I'm not really sure what's supposed to be run here. So this just looks like a three-man route, and you'll notice up here at the top that they run a stop route here. So I'm guessing that it's probably mirrored stop routes on the outside, as long as you don't get a rolled corner. If you get a rolled corner, it turns into a go route. So here you see Godwin at the top running the stop route. Mike Evans turns and runs the go route and kind of throws his hand up right there. So that may be one of those where I got to the corner before it was my depth for the stop route. So I'm going to throw up the mailbox, we call it. Throw the mailbox up, meaning, hey, I'm going deep here. But look at this great adjustment here by Baker. Okay, you're throwing it up. I'm going to take you to the back shoulder and put it on the back shoulder or throw the stop anyways off the pump. Great job communicating and being able to figure that out. It's one of the toughest things is when a receiver throws up the mailbox and you're expecting to throw a stop and he throws up the mailbox and now you got to reset and try to throw a 50-yard pass down the field. Great adjustment by those two making a play. Okay, talked about the pressure issues that they had in this game. They do a nice job right here. As everybody always asks, how does Aiden Hutchinson become free on a particular play? How can a defensive end become free? Well, this is why. Because they've got 6 guys lined up inside, so we've got to slide one direction. So the offensive line does what we call a squeeze. They squeeze all the way down and leave the furthest guy from the quarterback free. It just happens to be a defensive end here. Not the way we want to have it, but it's the right thing to do. We got to take away those inside gaps and the furthest guy away from the quarterback, and they do a nice job here. Boom. They're going to hit the hot, get the ball out of his hands, and now we need to make a play. But good job by Detroit of forcing this quick throw on third down. Now you just got to make the tackle. Does a nice job right there. Rashad White does a great job of making somebody miss. And I tell you what, I really like this concept as well too. So they're going to run here. Now they could just run a mesh here to this side, but they're going to run an in and a shallow. And then back to this side, they're going to run what I call poco. So seam inside. Now they've got the little, I think they might pivot this here, but maybe they're going to keep this going. But they've got the post corner over here with that underneath route. Then you've got an in and a shallow to the backside. Really like this as a 4-strong play. Haven't seen too many people run it quite like this. Really like that concept right there. You see how he stops. I think he's going to pivot back to the outside if he doesn't catch the football. And you see, if we can hold this and we're not hot, see what's back here. Opportunity to go get Trey Palmer on the deep post, but right decision there against pressure. We get the hot and we move the chains. So you see so many good things here, so many good concepts. Baker playing well, dealing the football. Okay, so here's another one with the protection. We're talking about protection issues. So it's kind of the same look that we saw before. They've got 6 guys up. Now the difference is we've got a 6 blocker here with the back. So this should all be protected. Okay, with the back stepping up in the weak B gap, it should be block out, block out. I'm going to take the left A gap. Center's going to take the right A gap, block, block. We should be all protected here. We shouldn't have any issue. And they screw up the protection again. 2 guys go to the left A gap. Now there's a guy in the right A gap free on Baker Mayfield. Okay, so screw up the protection and it costs us again. Now, there's a couple different hots if you know you're going to be hot, but I'm sure Baker didn't think he was going to be hot. You could hit this shallow coming right here, but he's trying to hit the quick post on the outside and just miss it right here. Did he miss because he was rushed? I bet he did. Otherwise, they got an opportunity to move the chains. Another third down situation, a missed opportunity right there. Or we block it up. Maybe you don't like the post. You're probably going to have the shallow coming across here for the completion in the first down, and we miss it again due to the protection issues, right? Those are huge plays. That's a first down moving inside the red zone instead of kicking a field goal. Who knows what that means? But little things like that become so huge in big games like this. Okay? I put this one on there because I think this is a really tough concept. So we're going to run seam, seam, okay? Double seam. So a lot of teams will run double seams. And usually on the outside, you put a stop, you put a comeback out there. One thing that Tampa does is they put a speed out, what I call a semi, on the outside. Now, why don't I like semis? Semis are timing throws on the outside. So you almost have to decide pre-snap if you're going to throw a semi because it's got to get back, put your back foot in the ground and throw it. So I don't like that when you have double seams because you're trying to really gauge what's going on the inside, what you might have, see rotation, all of that stuff, as opposed to alerting what's on the outside. So too often it makes you late on the outside. So you see right here, this shouldn't be a hitch throw. This should be a plant and throw because you see where the receiver's coming out of it already. So it's so tough that I'd rather just have a stop route here so I can read through it and then I can hitch and get to this on time. Really tough to always go outside in on this. So we're a little bit late here. It brings Mike way back and we end up missing it here on this. So I don't like having the seams connected to the semis. I don't mind semis, but semis to me usually should be kind of a standalone where I'm coming out and that's the only thing I'm thinking about first so I can hit that back foot and let it go instead of having to try to play catch up like this. Makes it really hard. Okay, so we come back here and we basically have the same thing. Although it's 3x1 instead of 2x2, we're going to run double seams. Okay? And here, now we're going to run stops on the outside. So I just wanted to show this to show the difference. Okay, so you see how much easier it is? Back, quick hitch. Now I can still be on time and put the ball out on the numbers and I'm not late to the throw, it pushes that guy out. I just like this better, so I wanted to put it on there, and you see how it works out better for them. If I'm running the double seams, I'd like to put the stops or the comebacks on the outside. I just think timing-wise and the way you have to read it, because you always want to kind of think seams a lot of times, even when the corner's off. And so if the corner's off and you're thinking seams, it's hard to recover back to the outside. So stops to me just work out better there. Okay? This was a fascinating one. Okay? So if you watch the game, you remember them talking about this. And so they tried to jam up here, and Mike avoids the jam and runs kind of a go route, and they hit this really quick in the hole. So I want you to watch this. Boom, look at that, quick, bang. And, when you're watching this on the copy on TV, you just say to yourself, oh my gosh, how did he see that and hit it so quickly? Because there's a safety over the top. So normally you're not going to try to hit a solo hole shot over here, on this particular, this quick based on this particular concept. And so it was amazing that they both saw this and they hit it this quickly. Then I come back and watch the game tape, and here's what I think happened. Now, this is amazing if this is what happened. So if you watch this concept, here's what we have. So we've got this with the other three guys. So in other words, we've got double slants on the bottom, and we've got an inside slant on the top. I honestly believe that Mike Evans was supposed to run a slant here. This was supposed to be double slants on both sides. Thus the reason that Baker gets to this so quickly and sees what Mike Evans does and is able to hit the hole shot. That he's going to read the double slants. He's right there to read the double slants, and he sees what happens outside, so he's able to adjust and stick it in the hole, and they get a win right there. I don't know if that's a normal adjustment. I can't imagine that's a normal adjustment, but unbelievable by those two guys to communicate on what I believe was a double slant play to actually make a huge play. And remember, this is the last drive of the first half. So they're putting together a drive with all of these different things, and that was a part of it. Okay, here's another one. Boom, on the snap, sees the rotation. They rotate back to one high, which gives me the one-on-one here with Mike Evans to that side. Boom, back, sticks it. Great throw, great adjustment by Mike Evans, but great job seeing the late rotation. Safety coming from the front side, can't get there. Perfect throw to set them up for this touchdown to end the half. Huge drive here to end the half. Okay, I put this on here. Here's the touchdown. Okay, so they run a rub play right here. And I commented on this on Twitter that I don't know why they changed this rule, because it's impossible for the defense. You get down this tight and you see. You can't just play off in this day and age, because everybody will throw a screen and score on you every time. So you got to come up and press. And the rule is, if you are pressing, so if you're within 1 yard of the line of scrimmage pressing a receiver, I can come down here as a receiver and block you if I want. I can knock you off your route or off your coverage. I can hit you and knock you to the ground. I can do whatever I want if you're within 1 yard of the line of scrimmage, and it is no penalty. So you just tell me, what are these guys supposed to do? Right? So we come down and we kind of block him here, but we just get in his way definitively. And so normally you're saying that's a pick. I mean, that's illegal offensive pass interference right there. But because he's within 1 yard of the line of scrimmage, that's why they picked this flag up. Easy touchdown, pitch and catch. So again, it's a good call and it's good execution based on the fact that that's the rule. It's just, to me, a bad rule because the defense has no chance. So many things go against the defense anyways, and you can go up and block them in man coverage. I just don't know what they're supposed to do down there in the red zone. I don't know why you just don't run that every single time. Okay, here's one of the good ones that they had against pressure. Okay, so they block this up. They bring pressure off the edge. Nice job here by Baker to recognize it, have a plan. Okay, have a plan. Could have hit the flat right here, but had a plan and hit Mike Evans on the quick stick right here. Boom. Beats the pressure, sticks it on Mike. Nice job, nice adjustment. So many good things with this team. So many good things that Baker does. Right? He's been much maligned a little bit, coming at #1 pick and then not having success over the last couple years. And yeah, he's got some limitations, some things that he does better than other things. But overall, I believe there's no question he is a starting quarterback in the National Football League and a good starting quarterback. The question becomes, is he a franchise quarterback? Will somebody pay him franchise money? That'll be interesting to see, but does so many things really, really well. I also think he's better in play action, where you can give him time back there and you can allow him to use the big arm to push the ball down the field. I thought he got better this year, was better in drop back than I've ever seen him before. All right, so here we go again. Right, here's the situation once again. We got 5 blockers, and we're going to block this, and there's a Mike linebacker in the middle. This right tackle has to see him, and he squeezes. Here comes Aiden Hutchinson again. Got to understand protections, quarterbacks. Got to understand what you're seeing, and coordinators, you got to give your quarterback an option. Look, nobody looking. Nobody looking. Now we get a quick under right here. Maybe they're going to use that as the hot, but man, that is really tough to kind of hold on to that in hopes that that guy on a controlled under comes open. So Baker is looking to try to hit something on the backside, this little switch release here, but that's tough too on how it plays out, but oblivious to the pressure. And here we go once again, taking a huge sack that we just can't take. We've got to be able to get the ball out of our hands. We can't lose this kind of yardage in a game. Right, so we see up top, 3rd down, 3rd and 5, right? We got to be able to have options for our quarterback to get the ball out of his hands, and that's one thing that I think Tampa has to do better. So you come out and you got to give your guy some options here. Hey, we see the pressure. Give me a peek right here. Give me a look somewhere where I can get the ball out of my hands. Maybe it's that under to the top, but we've got to be aware of what's going on. So we're not just taking sacks like that, getting hit, bad things happening. Okay, nice job picking this up right here. 7 guys blocking. Okay, so now here's the thing. We're just going to run double goes. And I get it. Your main guy is Mike Evans down on the bottom. You got press coverage. I get you want to go to him. Okay, but this guy's pretty good too. Chris Godwin's got press coverage, and he's in a tight alignment. So it makes it really hard. You got a lot of space over there for the go route. So I wish Baker would come back and just kind of eye this safety and see where this safety goes. Now he starts right in the middle of the field, but see how he's moving? See how he's moving this direction? I would love for him to come back here to Chris Godwin. And again, this can be hindsight's 20/20. It actually works out at the top. He beats his guy. Mike doesn't. And so, maybe that's part of it. But I just like the tight alignment go routes because it gives you options. If you can get by him, it gives you all kinds of space out here to the sideline. And if you widen him and you get this guy to widen and you slip up underneath him, there's a better chance to beat him quickly, in my opinion, than what we're seeing on the bottom with outside leverage man coverage. So, you try to throw this out there. He gets jammed. Safety gets involved. And you see Godwin on the other side see all that space? See all the space? You have all this space to stack and throw the football. So I like those tight alignments better. But again, that's, you're just kind of picking a side. Who do you like? Mike Evans is never wrong. You're never wrong going to Mike Evans against press coverage. So I'm not going to argue there. But another opportunity, possibly. Okay? So here's another one that we got the go on the backside. We've got the double seam once again. And so we have the stop over here. Now, I really like when I've got off coverage somewhere, I like just stealing a completion. So just look at the stop down here. Like this is stealing down here. I love to go down there instead of trying to force a go route, which is such low percentage. But the other thing here with Baker is I'd love to see him just hold the free safety longer. Keep your eyes in the middle with the free safety. Hold him longer. And don't make a decision on how you're going to throw this go route until you see it. So I think sometimes Baker comes out and he has so much success throwing back shoulders that he comes out thinking back shoulder instead of coming out and thinking, hey, hold the safety, throw the deep go, and then when he gets to the receiver, if the guy's playing high on him, then come back with the back shoulder. And I think that's what happened here is he comes back and he's going to throw the back shoulder here. And then he realizes on the pump that Mike's going deep and not running the back shoulder. And now we get caught and we're in trouble because we're guessing. I don't want to guess. I want to see it. I want to come back and get my timing right, see what Mike does, and then adjust. But great job here by Baker. Boom. He gets banged. He gets out of this, and then he throws a dime on the move to Otten here, and they get the completion on the sideline for the first down. Just unbelievable job pulling it back down and making plays, right? A lot of them in this game. A lot of plays were made by Baker. Love this play call. Again, go back to Abe Canales and his play calls and what he does. Okay, so we have a play called Poco. Okay, so Poco is a post, corner, and a flat. Okay, so that's what this looks like here. But they add a little twist to it, which is a good play, and I really like it, and I would call it Poco pump. So now we're going to be a little shorter on this and run the out, and then we're going to pump it down the sideline with the flat. Okay, so even if this flat defender starts to fall off a little bit, we're trying to clear the corner out, and then we're trying to hit the second level there with the pump. So this is great. Details. Love the details. Trey Palmer, watch him here. He widens to attack this corner. He widens to engage this corner to get the corner to go with them. Little details. Love it. Attack him, see him. See him how he's engaging, like, here, cover me, take me. I'm running at you, take me. It's exactly what happens. He takes him. That opens that second level for the pump. Great throw by Baker. Great read, put it on his back shoulder so that corner can't fall off. Love the play. Again, setting him up inside the red zone. Play design, detail, and execution. All right. Put this on about every one of my videos because every quarterback seems to be doing it. Josh Allen did it. Tua did it. Now Baker does it. Quarterbacks, coaches, do not sacrifice accuracy for quickness. I know you want to do the drill where you throw the ball to him and you say, how fast can you get it out? How fast can you get it out? I don't care. I want you to get it out fast. I want you to practice catching the ball and getting the laces in your hands and then make an accurate throw. Don't waste a throw. Okay, so right here, Baker doesn't get the laces. Look at him, and he's trying to fumble through this, and we throw it into the ground. Like, we can't waste it. We're down in the red zone. Complete it. You got to complete it. I don't know. We're going to block here. Give this guy a one-on-one shot. We got pressure coming. Give this guy a one-on-one shot, but give him a good football. Don't sacrifice accuracy for quickness. Trying to do that here, and we miss an easy opportunity, and you don't know what's going to happen on a completion like that. You have no idea. So I've seen it too much. Don't do it. Coaches, don't teach it. Teach them to throw the ball back to them 100 times, get the laces. Find a way to move your hands quickly and get your hands on the laces to make a good, accurate throw. Don't waste an opportunity. I just put this on there because I thought it was a beautiful play call. Okay, all out blitz, blitz zero down here. They run the quick screen over here to White. Love it. Pressure's coming. Boom. All we got to do is get Hutchinson, who's popping off. Easy walk-in touchdown. Great play call off of anticipating the pressure and getting them in the end zone. All right. Okay, so this one here, interesting one. So we're running a go, and a swing over here. All right, so all I would say on this one is we really want to see the picture on the back end. Okay, so the picture on the back end, what do I mean? If I've got a safety inside and I've got a soft corner, so basically somebody to take both of these guys, okay, I'd rather go to the other side and run double slant and take the double slant. Okay, if I only have one guy back there, so if I've got a middle safety closed and only one corner back there, okay, I can try to get this seam, or I can work these 2-on-1 if that guy squeezes inside, or if I get cover 2 and I think this guy's coming down, boom, I'll work the 2-on-1 off of this safety back here. But as soon as I get two guys that are playing the deep area of the field, as you see right here, now maybe he thought it was cover 2 because of the way they played it. Maybe he thought this guy was coming down and I was going to try to get the 2-on-1. But to me, if it's dicey at all, in other words, if this corner is not down tight right here and I've got the perfect look for double slants over here, I'm going to take my backside slant right there to Mike Evans and get me a big play Instead, we got to throw it underneath, and he doesn't catch it, but he's probably not going very far anyway. So again, just understanding the big picture and what makes a concept really good. And when you've got something that's better or got the perfect look on the back side, got to make sure you have the perfect look on the front side to pass it up. Okay, another good design here on a 4 strong. So they're going to run what I call pylon. So it's a deep pylon, it's a corner, and then they're going to run, this is what I call sled. So it's a swing with a lead, okay? So they're going to run the 3 levels over there and with that swing lead. So I really like the concept. Now, here's the funky thing is they bring late pressure on Baker. And so I think Baker here is trying to throw this hot because he knows that guy's pressuring. Now, the only thing you ask is he's coming from so far away, do I have a chance to hold the football just a little bit because he's kind of playing it softly? Can I hold it a little bit and possibly read down here because you see the great high-low that you're going to have on these 2 guys? I don't know. I don't know. This guy adjusts on the throw. I don't know if he's going to get there in time. And I'm with Baker that I don't like to wait to throw a hot late. So I don't want to second guess myself that, oh, I don't need to throw the hot and then shoot before I can get to the deep one. I've got to throw the hot and it's already too far out there. So I like the fact that Baker errs on the side of, shoot, I just got to throw the hot and get it out to my guy and try to make something happen, which we do. But you see the great concept on top of it that I really like, getting all 4 of those guys out there by the numbers because very seldom are you going to get 4 defenders out there on the numbers. Would have been a good play had they not brought the hot right there. Okay? Put this one on here because we've got the double seam again. And up top you have cover 2, so it turns into a go route. On the bottom, you've got cover 4, so it's either stop on the outside unless this is all go anyways. But here's what I want to show, that when you have this, okay, that we really want to work the 2-on-1 down the field off of the safety. So I want to let these guys get down the field a little bit, and then I want to read the safety. It doesn't have to be a quick throw. And so Baker is trying to turn and rip this right here. Now, I don't really want to rip this. I want to give this guy a chance to get through here and this guy a chance here. And I want this guy to have to make a decision instead of trying to rip it into that hole. I think this is probably intercepted. Brian Branch does a great job right here of fading to the inside on this throw. So watch this. I think that's intercepted myself. Now maybe he gets it up and over him, but Brian Branch plays it perfectly. But it just goes to show Brian Branch is going to level out right here. So let this go a little bit further, and we're going to get this guy on an island, and we're going to have a chance for a big play with the throw a little bit further down the field. And so that's why I wanted to show this as this, what we call a 2-on-1. It's a 2-on-1 off of this safety, and we want to get the influence of that safety. We want these guys to get downfield a little bit more. We don't want to have to drive it through these underneath defenders. Go ahead and get back. This should definitely be a hitch because you see Baker here. He hits the back foot, doesn't hitch, and tries to rip it. Some teams will do that on a middle close, trying to hit the seam on these 2-on-1s. I'd love to see him get back, hitch it, let them get down the field a little bit more and influence that safety to get a big play. All right, so another one here, to me, kind of a mistake by Baker. So they're going to rotate late, and we're going to have a solo go shot over here. Don't like solo go shots. You got nothing to hold the corner down. You got nothing to hold the safety from coming and attacking it. I think Baker thought he was going to get middle closed here. Then they rotated late, and Chris Godwin ends up going inside as well. And now Baker's stuck because he committed to it. Now he's trying to jam it in here, and it's just not a good decision. See the 2 defenders against 1, makes it hard. If he can see that rotation late, love for him to see and peek down the middle of the field, and then he's going to have options on the outside over here if he wants it. So come back on this particular look, see the safety, see that safety. That safety starts working over, just eye the safety. If he stays working over that way, come right back to your guy down the middle. If he stays tucked in here on the hash, now I have no problem letting this play out a little bit, hold him in on the hash, and then hit this. But trying to hit this quick in the hole, just a tough throw right there when we've got better options on this particular play. Kind of fooled him a little bit there with the late rotation. They've had some success with the late rotation in the game, but you got to be careful. Understand what you're seeing right here. Good job by Baker on this one. Just buying some time and making plays. Buying time and making plays. Athleticism, his ability to throw on the run. Big chunk throw right there, right? So many good things that Baker's doing. I love it. Love watching it, right? Got thrown away a little bit by the last couple teams that he was on. Got a bad rap, I thought, in Cleveland. Should probably still be in Cleveland. Have that team in the playoffs as well. But I love that he bounces back. He's got great confidence in himself, believes in himself, and it showed this year. And I hope it turns into a big contract. Okay, so here we go again. Now Baker does a great job here. It's the double seam concept with the semi on the outside, but you see the timing that you have to have, and that's what makes it tough because you got these seams. You might want to try to read the 2-on-1, all that stuff. Now this guy is rolling out of it, so you got to be ready to rip it. Baker was right here. Hey, I'm coming back. Boom, hit that back foot. Ball's out. Ball's on the money. Outside. Really, really love the timing right there. And again, that's not easy. It's not easy to have that concept with the semi on the outside and be able to see through it, think through it, and then get it out on time. Really good right there. Another really good throw right here. So we've got the corner concept. So it's an out and a corner. Cover 2, we're reading this corner down here. Okay, great throw here by Baker. That corner really plays this well because he's holding. You got to get this out on time. I'll always say this, okay? We look where the ball's at. Okay, the ball's on about the 33 right here. Okay, so I want to see Chris Godwin at least get to the, move it back a little bit. I want to see him get at least to the 23. Okay, so we want to get at least 10 yards vertical. We like to say 12 yards vertical. And why? Because we really want to stretch this guy. If we come out of this thing too shallow, right, it cuts down the space that this corner has to cover. So we really want to make sure we get depth here. So Chris is coming out right about there. So he's a little bit short here, and it really tightens this corner on what I can do and the read on him. If he pushes this thing another 2 yards, it gives us just a lot more space to be able to lay this over. But nonetheless, even with all that, great throw by Baker, understanding the timing, quick hitch, put it on his back shoulder, right? Because if he drives this on the money, it's probably intercepted. So he sees that guy falling up the field, sticks it on the back shoulder of Chris. Nice adjustment, great throw, great timing, and a huge play. Something that Baker did well all year long. Him and Mike Evans were great on these. Double post, run through the inside number of the safety. He gets outside, sticks it, and runs the post here. They're actually running a wheel on the outside, which comes open as well. But I'm reading that inside safety. But look at this, the ball's coming out. You read the inside safety. He's engaged in here. His eyes are right here. Baker sees that, and so he times it up and puts a perfect throw right here on Mike Evans. Boom. Right up high where only he can get it. That's a big time throw right there. If you don't like it and you feel it squeezes, squeeze, squeeze. Now we get a high-low over here with the wheel and the swing. Another great concept, given options for the quarterback. He would have a touchdown probably to the wheel as well, but I like it. I like the 4-strong concept again. Down here, giving yourself options. Boom, great throw by Baker. Setting them up for a chance, right? That set them up for a chance. Don't know why they went for 2. I'm a guy that likes to take the points, the automatic points. I don't know why they went for 2 and left themselves 8 down, but at least 1 touchdown away. And then this is the one that led to the interception, okay? So don't know how they talked about blocking this, but we've got 6 guys in here. I would assume those are the 6 that they're blocking. And then this is my hot guy, okay? So my hot guy over there, he's coming. I would love for him to just take the hot. Take the hot right there. Don't try to do too much. Your free hitter's coming right here. Chris does a great job of making himself available. Don't see this in enough offenses. Again, go back to your offensive coordinator. Dave Canales does a great job with a lot of these details that we've talked about in this game. A lot of solid concepts there. And this, bring in pressure, take your hot. Bring in pressure, take your hot. Don't try to do too much. Take it and let your playmakers make plays for you. You see the first down marker is right there at the 20. So get the ball on him. He walks for a first down. Instead, they run the classic zone dog. Okay, so classic zone dog. This guy's running over to take that spot. Backside defensive end linebacker pops out to the backside. Now, most times you can negotiate that backer or defensive end popping out. That's what Baker thinks he's going to do here, and it is a great read by that linebacker to fade back inside, feel Otten breaking inside, and now he sets him up perfectly for the interception. I mean, just unbelievable, but could have all been avoided again. Pressure, handling pressure. They didn't handle pressure very well in this game, and this was the final example of just get the ball out, take your hot, let it roll instead of trying to do too much, trying to force it in there, and it leads to the interception that ultimately ends their season. But you see it. A lot of good things in this offense. A lot of good things by Baker Mayfield. Really liked the way that he played. Loved the way that they battled this year. Just came up a little bit short, and a lot of the little details is what ended up costing them with hidden yardage here, there, and the next place, and finishing up with this hot situation where we tried to force it in there instead of just taking the easy one in front of us. And maybe, and again, never know if it's going to be different. They got to score a touchdown and 2 points, but you give yourself a chance when you make those right decisions in front of you and you don't try to do too much.